Good evening, everybody, and thank you for tuning in late on a Sunday night. We kept it late tonight for you football fans, and for Dave. He wanted to make sure he saw how this last game ended. Of course, I was busy recruiting. I brought in 3 new people today, while he was watching the game. So, that's called teammanship. But anyway, you guys, if you don't know me, which I'm sure most of you do, I'm Faraday, host Poor, and we wanted tonight to kind of cover some basics for the brand new person. I know we reiterate ourselves over and over and over again. You hear the income stories every single week on the Hangout. I2G has already created million-dollar earners. There's really $3 million earners in 5 months' time. 80 people over 5 figures. And, of course, income disclosure, since this will be live up on the internet, not everybody is making that kind of money. And, for the new person getting involved, maybe it just seems incomprehensible. And maybe you've never had any previous success in this industry, and maybe you just want to learn how to recruit your very first person. So what I'm going to tell you, the basics of how you can be enormously successful in this business are so simple that anybody that has the drive and the want to be successful in this business can. We've got the hottest opportunity under the sun. We got the highest paying program under the sun. We got more people earning more money with this program than any other program I've ever seen. But in the end, it still comes down to you. And, a lot of times I will try to figure this out, why, some people go to the top and why some people just never have any success. And I did a post on my Facebook wall yesterday, and I said, to be successful in I2G is simple. To be successful in any business is simple. We've given you the plan week after week after week. We've given you the ammunition with the income stories that are unlike anything else out there. Those income stories can make you $1 million, like it has just about for us. We're just under $1 million right now. So you learn to package those stories, and you learn to get those stories in front of at least 5 new people. And I generally get it in front of more than 5 people, but I'm telling you that you only have to get it in front of 5 new people a day in, day out, day in, day out, and you will be successful in 90 days. Now, why are so many people not successful in this business and other businesses? Some people listening today, in 90 days, you'll already be gone off to the next deal, and you'll be experiencing the same results if you don't put into action what we talk about here tonight. Because if you get these stories in front of 5 people a day, and then you get them excited about this business, with a few short little stories, they will be asking you about what is I2G, how did they do that, and how can I find out more? And then all you have to do is get them the recording of the Hangout. I just use the Hangouts. That's all I use. Dave and some other people like to also use the 10-minute video and the vision call. So this isn't new news for those of you that are listening in tonight. You know that we talk about this every single day. But we don't just talk about it. We put it into application. So today I recruited 3 new people. One of them came from a friend request that I met just last night. One of them, came from a friend request about a week or 2 ago that, that I talked to today. And one of them, I don't know exactly how, I think he saw one of the videos, one of the Hangouts, and got in touch with me about 2 weeks ago, just decided to come on board today. So, but what, the 3 signups I get today, it's a result of consistency, day in, day out, day in, day out. Because a lot of people are going to come into this business and they will not ever talk to 5 people, even probably one day, much less every single day for 90 days. So I put the challenge out to you to take this information tonight and put it into application, and in 90 days you can totally turn your whole life around. Most people are going to come in this business and one day they're going to get 2 no's or 3 no's, and they're going to get blown right out the door. And then they're going to say that this business did not work for them. Nobody wants to do the business. And they're going to blame it on the business. Well, i2G doesn't work, I mean, I told people about it and nobody would do the business. Well, you only talk to 3 people, and other people will get on board and they'll talk to, maybe one day they'll talk to 5 people, and then they'll go weeks and weeks and weeks and never tell a single soul about i2G, and then they're going to think that it's just going to magically happen for you. It doesn't magically happen. If you have a business, you've got to treat it like a business. Now, a lot of you have challenges. Some of you have full-time jobs and families. That's fine. You have to have a full-time mindset. If you have part-time hours to work it, say the only time you have to work the business is 7 to 9 p.m. at night. Well, then every single day you put aside those hours, 7 to 9 p.m., to devote to your i2G business. When you're a business owner, if you own a franchise, if you own a McDonald's, they're open for business every single day. If they don't open for business, they don't make any money. They can't just decide, well, one day, hey, well, we're not going to, we're not going to do anything today. We're not going to open. For whatever reason, my kid has a soccer game, so, McDonald's is closed today. McDonald's would go out of business, so, whatever your plan is, you got to work your plan. And so that is really the most critical. A lot of people, day in, day out, day in, day out, they will not work a plan. They don't have any method of operation whatsoever. So what we're going to talk about today is some simple things that you can do to expose the business on an everyday basis, so you never run out of people to talk to. And no, you do not need a big list. No, you don't even need any paid advertising. We haven't done any paid advertising in the last year. No, you don't need to blog every day. No, you don't have to have the most fancy capture page system, although, James Breakiron's going to talk tonight. He's getting fantastic results using our capture page system. But you know what? He's talking to the people. So nothing is automatic. Yeah, I do get some people that sign up automatic. It's few and far between. And generally, I'm on the phone with them. If they sign up and I missed it and they signed up and I didn't know they signed up, then I'm on the phone with them afterwards. But generally, you need to talk to the people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you, first of all, just and I kept purposely the name confidential so that I protect everybody's privacy. But I already uploaded it to the i2G Pros, and I'm going to go on the screen share. And I did get a couple people's Facebook login. They wanted me to to show how I recruit people just from friend requests. So we're going to go over some basics here tonight. I'm going to start by going to a screen share. Okay, if you're watching this tonight and for any reason you are not a part of the i2G Pros group, then you want to friend request me or Dave, Susan, Richard, somebody that's in the group so they can add you, because this is like our central information point where we communicate information to you. So whenever I do a hangout, whenever I do a training, I pin it to the top so that you can easily access it. You know the most important information. You also have a group here where you can communicate with the other members. You can ask questions. You can, generally get some morale boosting. And in addition to that, we've got quite a few files that we've uploaded. And we have an archive of all of our recent training hangouts. You should definitely go through all of them if you're brand new. We've got different videos that you're going to be asking your sponsor for anyway. The i2G Touch videos, casino videos. You can see we've got the i2G PowerPoint in different languages. I did 2 examples of recruiting from friend requests. I'm going to show you just an example of what I do. But I can do the same thing from anybody's Facebook account. I know that somebody said the other day, well, you've got, the big income story, that people are going to ask me, well, how much do I make? They're not going to ask you that. If you position this correctly, posture yourself correctly, and you can recruit as effectively as I do from friend requests. And we're going to talk about how you get a dozen friend requests requesting you not requesting them, every single day. And these are people that are interested in a home-based business that most likely are not making all the money that they want to be making. Maybe they're successful with their programs, but they're still going to want to hear about what we have, because if they're a business person, they're going to want to find out what program is creating millionaires in 5 months' time. Otherwise they wouldn't be a very good business person, now would they? So, but this is just an example. Every single day, this gentleman had requested me as a friend request. So I get right down to it. I don't really beat around the bush much. I do not accept a friend request unless I can send a personal message to somebody, because that, to me, that's just wasting a potential lead, a potential prospect, a potential relationship. And so I might have 850 unresponded to friend requests that I haven't got to yet, but I'm not adding any of them unless I can send them a personal message. So here I am. I say, hi, Billy. Thanks for the friend request. I had to add you with 80 friends in common. Looks like you have quite a few Empower friends. Do you do Empower, or are you on my i2G team? He says, no, I'm not promoting Empower as a, I don't know, ATM. Maybe that's as a matter of fact. Actually, I'm all in Empower from way back. And so, I love people that are from Empower, because I've got a commonality. Remember, this is all about relationships. And I love to share the story about how I totally was an MLM strikeout loser and didn't make any money in Empower, because then people can relate with me a little bit better when I tell them how much money I'm making now. So here I am. I say I was in Empower, but spent, and I didn't even have correct verbiage. I meant to say spent more than I made in 6 months. Quite a change now, 18 months later. Now I'm over 900K in the last 5 months with i2G, with no blogging, paid ads, paid per click, etc., etc. All the stuff that never worked for me in Empower. What do you do now? So regardless of whatever little introduction conversation you get into, you want to ask them, what do you do? What do you promote? Because what is going to happen when you ask a network marketer what they do or what they promote? You're going to engage a conversation because every network marketer wants to talk about what they do or what they promote, or else they're not a very good network marketer. So, so Billy says, I'm promoting a few offers, ATM, again, what is that? I don't know, as a matter of fact, maybe. DS Domination is converting well. Bitcoins is doing all right. I'm looking at more top tier, though. Less team building, more direct response, high-ticket products like events and such. And so, you know, what did I find out here? I found out some really important information because he's saying, you know, that he likes, is looking right now, this very minute, at high-ticket products. What do we have in addition to low product items along with high-ticket items with i2G? We've got the perfect thing that he is looking for. So I just go right into it. He doesn't even know what i2G is yet. I said, well, i2G has low-end $100 and high-end $5,000. Obviously, I would not have made $900,000 or have done $15 million in team sales in the first 5 months if there was not a lot coming in for $5,000. So yes, makes a huge difference. Immediately, send me the link. I'll check it out. Yeah, high ticket is where it's at. And what do? I send my Hangout. Now, how long do you think that this little tiny conversation took me? For all of you that have full-time jobs, you say you don't have time, you know, you have families, you can fit this in. This took me all of 2 minutes to get a high-quality prospect that's looking for high tier and, you know, is open to taking a look at what I have to offer. Now, have I recruited this gentleman yet? Not yet. You know, on some of them, they immediately get back to you and they want to do it. On other people, they might not. And, you know, I haven't followed up with them yet because, you know, I've been too busy following up with the people that immediately get back in touch with me and want to sign up. So if you have more time on your hands, you might have followed up with them the next day or the next day after that. But what I'm saying is that is not your job in terms of how many people you recruit a day. All I want you to do is expose the business and get the Hangout to 5 new people a day. Some will, some won't. So what? And next. My job is not to sell anybody, convince anybody. As a matter of fact, I am not a salesperson. I don't want to try to convince or sell anybody. I want to get the information out to as many people as possible. Let them look at it and they make their own mind up. And to be honest, I prefer the ones that afterwards they come to me and they want to know more information. So anyway, I'm going to show you another one from just today. I've taken the name out and the picture out just to protect her privacy. But let's go back again to another file. Remember, this is all posted in the i2G pros area. And I put this under recruiting from friend request too. Now, I've said this before. If you are brand new and you haven't heard this before, you need to go through the previous Hangouts. You need to take notes. You need to write down the stories that I talk about. With Dennis DeVoren, that's $1 million story, you know, because there's a lot of people that were in his same situation that didn't have the $100 to get started, that had 15 years of failure. Maybe they didn't have 15 years of failure like Dennis, but they've had failure. Anybody that's successful has had failure. You know, but Dennis, his last year, went through the bankruptcy, lost his house, lost his car, and that is precisely why it's $1 million story. Because everybody loves a comeback story. Why do you think Rocky is so popular? Everybody loves to know that we're just normal people and we fail and we come back and we come back and we come back And it is possible to go from broke and homeless to $1 million earner, because now Dennis is $1 million earner. And I tell that story, and I recruit more people because of that story than anything. So there's a lot of other stories. When you go through the Hangouts, you're going to see Juan Velasquez, 20 years old, made $190,000 last month. You're going to see the Parks, Jason Sim, $1 million earner that barely speaks English. Jason, the Parks, and Dennis DeVoren, none of them know anything about social media. As a matter of fact, they should be watching this training tonight because they don't even have a Facebook account. You know, they did their first Hangout with me. And you know, that just goes to show you that you don't even have to have a Facebook account to be highly successful with this business. So anyway, we're just going to call this beautiful young lady that joined today, Michelle. You know, and she actually sent me a message. I don't even think we were friends yet. Or maybe we were. So she just said, "Hi there. Hope you are well. I love to network with like-minded or business-minded people. Also, I believe it's great when women can work together and empower each other. I would love to hear about what you are doing and would love to share what I am doing if that works for you. Thanks and Happy New Year." I think somebody came unmuted on the Hangout. I don't know if that's Dave or James or somebody new came on. Okay. Did somebody new come on the Hangout?
Yeah, there's a gentleman that came on that doesn't know he's on, I don't think.
How did he get on without the...
No idea, but I'm looking right at him.
Okay, mute. Can you mute him, James?
I'll try to. I'm not too computer savvy. Hold one sec.
Okay. Anyway, so look at the information. Whenever you are engaging with somebody, you're always going to look at the information. She wrote me a really nice email, and she actually told me right up front, I would love to hear about what you were doing. So what is a networker like me going to do? This is like an open lane. They're already telling me they want to hear about what I'm doing. I think we still have somebody that is muted. Dave, can you eject? I don't know who it is because I can't see, but either mute or eject the person.
Sir, with the Redskin hat on,
drop off this line and go on the YouTube link, Frank. Drop off, please. Cancel the call, Frank.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we need to. You have to be muted. We're on a live hangout.
Drop off, Frank. Drop off and go on to the viewer line.
Okay. How do you drop off in there? This is new to me.
Yeah, go on the other line. I don't know who goes to this line.
This is Jody. Friday.
Oh, Jody. Well, Jody, if you want to stay on there, that's fine. But you got to mute yourself. You can't be on the live presenter line and be unmuted because we hear everything.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, how do I mute myself?
There we
go. No.
Okay. Anyways, sorry about that, guys. So anyway, here I go. I said, well, I have a live hangout I am doing in 35 minutes. I'm earning ridiculous amounts of money with i2G. Big change here. Does this look familiar? Big change from 18 months ago when I could not sell a $25 blog in 6 months. Now I made $80K last week and over $900K in 5 months. It's ridiculous. Love to hear what you do too. Here's my hangout link for tonight at 7 p.m. if you want to listen in. So yeah, these numbers are ridiculous, but I want to impress to you that you don't need to have my story in order to get people's attention or in order to get them to listen to a hangout. I'm gonna go over some examples of exactly what you could say until you build your story up. And yes, I already know that is an advantage in that I can use that in my story, but I'm going to show you how you can just as easily use the team success that you're on and just as easily recruit people. So Michelle says, thank you. The timing is a little off since I have a 4-month-old. Is there another time? Congrats on your success. Sure, there will be a replay of this hangout. What is your email? I will send you the hangout. And she sends it to me. And then, you know, me and Michelle arranged to have a conversation today. And then she joined the business, and she already brought somebody in. And then I recruited somebody else that went underneath her already. So that's kind of how it works. And, you know, what I don't know if I will. What I'm going to do, I was going to sign into somebody else's account to show them an example. But let's just, for simplicity's sake, go here. And even though I'm replying to a friend request, now I'll tell you what you can say instead of what I say that will be just as effective. So here, when I see a friend request, I will look at the friends in common. The ones I like the best where I have a whole lot of mutual friends in common, because then I know that they're a networker and they've been busy themselves gathering a lot of friends. So, but anyway, let's just keep this simple. And let's go to Stephanie. And generally, I will take a quick look at their profile to, you know, see if there's any good information that I can gather. You know, looks like she's a mom. Oh, this is a. Looks like she's a mom. I don't know her if this is her son or maybe he's older than her son. Maybe this is her husband playing softball. Anyway. So that one I don't know, so we might stay away from that. Instead, what I'll do is, like in the other ones, I'm going to say, thanks, Stephanie, for the friend request. I see we have some marketing friends in common. You must be a marketer too. What do you do? And then here, sometimes to personalize it, by the way, your profile is quite lovely. And that's it. So all I'm doing, I mean, that's very simple. I could copy and paste this exact same. As a matter of fact, you know, I could copy and paste this exact same response, and I could go on to the next person. Remember, I'm only asking you to do 5 a day. So, I mean, I'll go, you know, when it gets too late to call people, you know, I might do this, you know, I might do 20 in a day. I might do, it just depends. Some days I might only do 5. But I do the same thing over and over and over again. So this guy, we got 23 mutual friends. All right, Bob. And it looks like he must already be in i2G. So in this case, this is not somebody I'm going to pitch, you know, but I'm still going to send him a message just to welcome him to the team. You know, oops, he's not a Stephanie. Yeah, when you copy and paste, you got to make sure you don't copy and paste somebody else's name. Okay, so Okay, but I think you guys kind of get the idea. It's not rocket science. It's not anything any one of you can't do. Now, say that you're like, okay, well, you're using your income story. Here is an idea of how you might sell your story. Now, Annette wanted me to log into her account. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to tell you what I would say as if I was Annette. She's in Denmark, so she's asleep right now. But if I'm logging into her account, first of all, Annette has her own story, and I'm trying to remember what her background is. I think she had her own jewelry business. So she's going to say, thanks for the friend request. I see we've had a lot of friends in common. What do you do? Or, you must be a marketer too, and what do you do? And then it's going to be the same thing going back. They're going to say, oh, I'm involved with this program or that program. She's going to take an area of commonality. She had the same situation with Empower. So if she has an Empower person, she's going to say, oh, yes, I was involved with that, and I spent quite a bit of time, without seeing the results I was expecting. But in the last few months, I got involved with this online casino project, and I hooked up with a team that has made done 15 million in sales and created 3 millionaires, and has 80 people that over 5 figures, and now I've got over $80,000 in business in my group. She's been in there. She's in the power leg. So she's going to use that as part of her story. So Annette now has got about 80,000 in volume underneath her. So that's a powerful story. Now, it doesn't matter if, that was people that she personally sponsored or they got placed underneath her. She has, I don't know exact numbers, she's got probably 100, 200 people underneath her. So she's like, I never had a lot of success before, but now I've hooked up with a team that has done 15 million in sales, and their team members have created 3 millionaires, has 80 people over 5 figures a month, and it's the best results I've ever had. I've got 80,000 in business underneath me, and that's it. Now, do you really think that the people you talk to are going to be less inclined to ask, for more information about this business that created 3 millionaires and 80 people that are over 5 figures a month, just because you might not have earned that yourself? No, they're still going to want to know. And you told them you're a part of that team. You can refer to me and Dave and the other people on the team as your partners. That's another word. Don't call us your upline. Call us your partners. But in doing that, you will create the curiosity. Believe me, the next thing that they come back to you with is not going to be, well, how much have you made with it? That's not going to be what they come back to you with, because you're posturing yourself correctly and you're talking about the team. So don't feel like you have to have earned any amount of money. You do have to posture yourself with confidence and be willing to get out there and talk to the people and have confidence in yourself and in your company. And people will listen to you, and you do what I do. You send them the hangout. Once they watch the hangout, then I am willing, Dave is willing to help you with the third-party validation, where you can get us on a telephone call with them so that they know, that you are connected directly with all the top people. Now, if your sponsor is James Break Iron, you're going to do the same thing with him. You're going to, what is the word, when you build up your sponsor For some reason, I can't think of what the word is, but you want to build them up. If your sponsor is Dennis DeVoren, you know, you do the same thing. If it's Dave, you know, Rick, you know, if you're working with Richard or Susan or Dave, you know, Simon out of Australia. If you're working with Tony Adamy, if you're working with Jason Sim, if you're working with the Parks or Juan Velasquez, you promote them the exact same way. So anyway, I've gone on quite a while on some really, really basics. One thing I wanted to cover quickly before I'm going to bring James on and talk about auto posting and how to reach these people in Facebook groups. Well, first of all, you know, if you're brand new, you need to have an arsenal of Facebook groups, especially if you don't have a lot of warm market. So anyway, this will show you some of the groups that I am a member of. You know, an easy way for you to grab those groups is go to my profile and click down on my groups and start adding them all. So you got, these are all marketing groups. These are not belly dancing groups. These are not, you know, recipe groups. These are all groups that have network marketers in there and that are people that are hungry to hear about your business opportunity. Now, are you going to get responses every single time you post? No, you're not, but you're going to get friend requests. And when you post consistently, you're going to get a dozen friend requests a day, and some of them are going to want to talk to you. Some of them are going to call you. If you post to 300 to 500 groups a day, everything you do is creating exposure. What is our business about? It is exposure. So what you want to do is go copy my groups, Steve and Adelina West, James Breakiron, Dave Manning. You know, you can do a search for the groups underneath the different taglines. MLM, you can do network marketing, you can do home-based business, internet marketing, traffic, advertising groups. These are all people that are posting in these groups. You can also email me at faradayh@gmail.com. I'll send you a bunch of groups that you can add them. I'll actually go in and post that in a file on a Word document and add it to the file section so that you guys have a whole lot of groups to post in. And then I'm just going to show you one more thing really quickly. James and, you know, Wayne has got a great auto posting system, Wayne Atkinson, that we've been using. Dave's been working with him on that. I used to use Hootsuite a lot. I haven't tried it lately because they were kind of clamping down on the posting. But here is Super Poster. There's a lot of different auto posting softwares out there. I am logged into my Facebook account. With this particular posting, you can post to 4 sets of 45 groups a day. So it's not unlimited, but let's say I want to post to 45 groups all at one time. I go into my Super Poster. I've already saved an ad here. So here I've got, again, the same thing I'm talking to you about, storytelling. Okay, I probably need to upgrade this one. XMLM loser, Faraday makes, now, you know, well now we would change it to over 900,000 in whatever number of weeks it is, but that's not the point. Broke homeless, last year Dennis D makes over 800K in 19 weeks. That needs to be upgraded too. 20-year-old Juan makes 190K. Just last month, Tony Adamy broke and laid off 4 months ago to 90K last month. Hot, sexy, unique. and different with zero competition, highest paying incomes in the shortest time in network marketing history. If your program pays you better in 4 months, I will pay you $1,000 and I will join you. That's how confident I am. And then I've got YouTube, Hangout. I've got my capture page here. I always like to have my phone number. I've got my Skype so that they can contact me. I get a lot of Skype requests because of this. And this is just like really simple. Now you have to exclude any groups that you don't want to post to. So I don't need to post to other i2G groups that people have put me in. Some of these, you know, the thing is people can just put you in groups, and you know, you don't want to really spam those groups. A lot of these groups I didn't even add. What is this? Need chicks? No, I don't need to post to need chicks. But anyway, I just want to make sure I don't post in groups that would come across as spam. And all I simply do is I'm going to send out to my first set of 45 groups. I click to post it. Okay, I don't know if it went out or not. All right, hopefully I didn't exclude anyone, so hopefully I'm not spamming any groups that I don't. Let's see. So here, your posting was successful. So I went out to 45 groups in one shot, and you know, and then you know, with this particular software, you know, I have to wait 5 or 6 minutes before I send another one. So if you have multiple Facebook accounts, you know, what you could do is you can go from one Facebook account to another. With this one, you can actually use 5 different Facebook profiles. You know, the benefit of this one is it's super easy, and James is going to talk to you about another one. And I'm going to come back to you guys in the Facebook group. So, all right, those were the main points I wanted to get across to you guys. I'm going to bring James on to talk more because he does a particularly good job at branding himself, and he does a particularly good job of creating a lot of interest that makes you want to click on his ads. And then you know what he uses? He uses the same capture page that we promote to all of you guys that has the autoresponder back-end messages, and he's doing incredibly well. I think James recruited 2 new people today too. So James, I'm going to bring you up now and you know, cover you know, whatever you like, but definitely cover about your auto postings and what you do with your to make your ads more unique than anything else, and how you kind of have branded yourself in a different way than anybody else out there.
Okay, I appreciate it, Faraday. Can you hear me okay?
I do, and I'm going to mute myself right now. You got the floor.
Okay, great. Yeah, Faraday, you know, made a lot of tremendous points that, you know, we've gone over a lot of them through trainings, and I'm just going to reiterate some stuff that's working for me. She's 100% right. I have branded myself differently. I branded myself as Crazy Bald James. And if you have anything unique about yourself, or you have a favorite team or anything like that, Crazy Patriots fan, you know, Dave Manning's a big Patriot fan. You've got to differentiate yourself from the pack, because every single ad you see on Facebook looks the exact same. This is the best thing since sliced bread. You know, you've got to make yourself different, okay? And what I do is I do some long ads and I do some very quick to the point ads, just making myself different. And all you do is go into Google if you want to make yourself like Crazy Bald James, and I go, give me images of bald guys. And I sit there and I click on all the images of bald guys, and you'll see with all my ads, there's a bunch of funny-looking bald people because I'm a funny-looking bald guy. And if you have any weaknesses or you have any strengths, you use them to your advantage. Okay? Everybody on this call, 99.9% of them, are from the downline of Dave and Faraday, which is phenomenal. Okay? But I'm here, to help you also. Even if you're not on my team, I want you to get a pen there and take down my phone number because I want to help you guys also. It doesn't matter if we're on the same team or not. Now, I'm not going to give you my phone number. I'm going to give you my Facebook because the auto poster and a couple different things I want to share with you guys, you can call me and I'll give it to you just because I don't know how to put a link out because I'm computer illiterate. Friend request me at Jim Breakiron, Breakiron, Jim Breakiron on Facebook, and I'll respond to your friend requests. I have another auto poster that works very well. It's very simple. It's a one-time fee, and it works. Now, some of the things Faraday said, I'm going to go right till 10 o'clock. I got 14 minutes. Some of the things that Faraday said that touched on me that I really want to impose on you is consistency. I had a guy quit the team the other day who put 100 posts out on Facebook, and he didn't get any responses. Okay? I used to do that. I was on 10 programs at one time. I never made a cent. I've been in 12 programs at one time. I never made a cent. Dave sat me down at a meeting in West Palm Beach, and he talked to me, and he got me very clear on a vision. Just concentrate on one thing. And sure, I'd tell you if it was another thing, but this is the one. You guys are in the best opportunity right now on the internet, hands down. There's no easier way to make money on the internet right now than Infinity 2 Global. And believe me, I'm not saying that as a pitch person. I'm saying that's because I failed at every single opportunity. You're not going to be in an opportunity that I haven't failed at. Okay? You got to treat yourself like a business. Okay? You've got to be the face of that business. You've got to buy the business cards. Okay? You've got to hand somebody a business card. You've got to put 10 in your pocket every morning in your right pocket, and you've got to give those out. I don't care what you say. Get them in somebody's hand, okay? Say, hey, I just got an online business. My buddy made $26,000 last month. Take a look at it. Walk away. 2 out of those 10 people are going to get in your business, okay? 1 out of every 10 people are going to get in your business. That person may make you no money. That person may make you $20,000. You have no idea. But last time we did a training, I talked about fear. It's all about overcoming fear. Faraday touched on an unbelievable amount of points today, but she didn't talk about fear. And that's 99% of the reason why you guys are going to fail, because you're afraid. You're afraid of somebody saying, oh, it's a scam. Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Okay? They do it to me all day long. The only pyramid scheme in the world right now is a job, because you got a president, 2 vice presidents, 10 managers, and you're the lowly employee who can't make more than the president. In this company, I've got a guy lower than me who made $930,000 in 18 weeks. Did I make that? No. I didn't make 100 of that. Okay? And yes, you have full-time jobs. She touched on that also. But if you take a half hour a day and say you're making an extra $2,000 a month, say you're making extra $5,000 a month, you're changing your life. Okay? Couple things. Business cards. You got to get your business cards. Just like I said, you're going to get on a website called Fiverr.com. F-I-V as in Victor, E-R-R.com. F-I-V as in Victor, E-R-R.com. They do a million things for $5. I mean, you would not believe the neat things. If you've seen some of my videos with the twins and all kind of the little Kermit the Frog, all that was for $5, guys. And there's no business in the world right now where you can invest under $100 on advertising stuff and you have the chance to make $30, $40, $50, $100,000 a month. But that's outrageous numbers. Let's say you make $5,000 or $6,000 a month. Change your life? Of course you are. So think about it in these terms. This is a business, and you are the face of the business. Okay? You know what I do on every single ad? I say I have people on my team who made $800,000 in 18 weeks. They're on my team. Faraday's not. She's above me, but I didn't say she's in my upline or downline. She's on my team. Use Dave and Faraday. They are on your team. I got a guy on my team who made $930,000 last month. You know, I've got the top 2 earners in the company on my team. You can say that legally because they're on your team. If you're a part of my team and Faraday's, and 90% of what we've got going here, because everyone's underneath Faraday, so use them. It's all about telling stories, guys. And if you overcome the fear, you'll win. If you don't overcome the fear, you'll keep blaming it on the company. You'll keep blaming it on the upline. But if you just overcome that little fear and take that, put the 10 cards in your pocket every day, and at the end of the day, don't go home until they're gone, you're going to make a tremendous amount of money in this company. We only have 6,000 members, and we've got the whole world to go after. She touched on another great point. You guys have full-time jobs, and you can't do this like a lot of us. That's fine. You've got co-workers. You've got people throughout your whole life. You've got people you run into at the gas station. It's not the person you hand the card to. Remember, it's the person they hand it to afterwards. Okay? That card could go 5 different places. If you consistently do what they tell you to do every day, you will have success. If you get off this training and go back to wondering why you're not making money, you're going to stay in the same spot you were 6 months ago. I've been there. Before I was with this company, I had never made $1,800 a month in any other company in my life online. But I started listening to people, and I started not thinking I knew everything, and I started realizing these guys are right. You know, concentrate on one thing and do it the best. And the one thing needs to be Infinity 2 Global, because there's no compensation plan. There's no other company out there who has no competition. No other company worldwide that has a product that you can keep losing money. Oh, I lost $25. I lost $50. We get volume off of every single hand played across the world. And it's only going to get better and better and better. And we're, for all you new people, brand new products are coming out. All kind of things, okay? Another thing, I just mentioned Fiverr.com. There's things called virtual assistants, okay? I've hired people in the Philippines who are used to making 50 cents an hour, and there's companies that pay them $3 an hour. And in the Philippines, you can get a luxury apartment for $150 a month in a skyrise, a luxury furnished apartment, so the money's a little bit different there. But my point is, these people they know 100 times more than I do on computers, so I pay them $3 an hour, and they do all the stuff I don't know how to do. So look online and Google virtual assistants, and you'll be amazed at what you can get for $3 an hour. It's called duplicating your efforts, guys. If you're working a full-time job and you're making $30, $40, $20, $10, $15 an hour, you can afford $3 an hour to boost this business while you're at work. Also, think outside the box. Stop doing what everyone else is doing, okay? Call me, you know, I can give you 10 different ways to make money. Jim Breakiron, BREAKIRON. I don't care if you're on my team. I don't care what situation it is. I want to help you, because down the line you're going to help me sooner or later. It's a family thing. I don't care. So let me see. I got my little piece of paper out. What else I wanted to cover? Yeah, basically appreciate what you have, because no one else has this opportunity but us right now, and you guys got lucky to find this one, because I've been in everything, okay? I lost a ton of money in Zeke Rewards. I lost a ton of money in I lost a ton of money in Empower Network. I don't mind saying the names because I'm telling the truth. I lost money in them, bottom line, until I figured out to concentrate on one thing, and I found the right program with the right product and the right people. So that's all I have, Faraday. I appreciate you having me. I'm going to mute myself now. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, James. That was fantastic. And yeah, if you aren't friends with him, friend him on Facebook, and you can see his postings. They're, you know, I mean, they impress me. I'm like, wow, you know, I would click on that ad, because I'm always, you know, we could do a whole entire training on how to do ads. You know, Steve and Adelina West are really, really good at that. Patricia Platt has been doing some fantastic ads. So anyway, that it all comes down to consistency and doing it every day, day in, day out. And so I'm going to bring up Dave now to cover some more basics, golden nuggets, and you know, and end up closing this out tonight. We appreciate you guys.
Hey, great. How is everybody tonight? Can you hear me okay, Farrah?
Very good, hon.
All right, great. Okay, great. Well, hey, guys, you know, there's been a lot of information. First of all, how about them Patriots, huh? Hey, all right, we got the games going down. Football's on. But, guys, let's just get serious here, okay? on this training, and I really want you to get serious. I want to go into your mind because, see, those that have a job right now, you punch a clock for probably money that you're actually ashamed of and do things that you really don't enjoy. Okay? I personally have family I know that does this every single day. Okay? And they aren't enjoying it. I got to share something with you. We enjoy what we do. And I enjoy when I get a couple people clear on a training that goes on like this tonight. Because I know that there'll be thousands of you that will watch this. But only 1 or 2 will get it, maybe 3 or 4. And actually, it's been getting a lot better. It's unbelievable because they're watching this. So I'm going to go back into some basics. And Farrah said some stuff today that, you know, when she goes over, and I make no excuse about the basics. See, the Patriots didn't win the football game yesterday because it wasn't the basics, okay? You didn't see the Broncos win today because they forgot about the basics. They stayed calm, they stayed their storm, and they went through their deal. Guys, this business is so much like this. And I'm going to share a few things, and I'm going to probably make a few people mad here tonight, or really open their eyes up to think about where they're at. See, because the 5 people that you hang around with result usually in your income, okay? So if you hang out with 5 broke friends, what do you think your income probably is? Okay, I didn't like that when I first ever heard that. I didn't ever like it. I also didn't like it when they told me, you know, are you part of the problem or are you part of the solution? See, because the problem is you, not me, not Farrah, not James, not i2G, not anything. It's you. And see, I'm going to share something with you, and I did this today. The guy told me, he said, Dave, he really was getting it. You know, I watched Katrina get it this weekend. I'm so proud of her. $700, $600 on a Saturday night doing the action. Not talking about it. Not talking about doing the work. But doing the work and getting the pay. I want you to see the difference here on what goes on. That's what makes Farrah happy. Farrah understands about getting the pay. David understands about getting the pay. James understands about that. What happens is, see, I'm going to share something with you, and it's a skill that you have to go learn. I watch so many people join so many different days. While you see me when we're on these trainings, I'm actually recruiting for the hangout while we're on there, because the broke people and my friends that are all over the place, they're not on here, and I can watch them through the chat. And I'm watching, and they don't know that I'm watching them, and I'm going through it, and I'm having a ball with them. Because they're also the deal that's pitching me on the newest deal in town, the newest greenest grass, okay, the pre-launch, this, that, this, and that. And the real reality is, what have you really made? Have you made any money? And if you have, it's great. And if it fits for you and your family, great. Okay? But I'm talking about changing lifestyles here for a lot of different reasons. You know, people say money's not everything, Dave. I said, yeah, you're right, it's not. But boy, it sure sucks when you don't have any. Okay? And I want you to think about that for a minute. When you got to really think about, you know how long it's been since I've balanced a checkbook? You really want to know? I have to go through and look at my things. I have to, because Farrah loves to buy, and I don't like to get ripped off. So I have to go check. I will take care of my own, but she won't. So I have to take care of it. But I want you to think about it. I'm a high school dropout, guys. If I could get this, you can get this. See, I only knew one thing: how to work hard. I'm going to share some stuff with you that's hopefully it resonates with just a couple people tonight, and then it will go, because I'm not going to go where Farrah went, and I'm not going to go where James went about the internet stuff. See, I want you to understand, the top 6 people in the company of i2G, there's only one couple that has a Facebook page that actually does what we do, and you got them online here tonight. The rest of them don't. We score on their pictures. We score on their income stories. We score on everything because they do not implement what you saw here earlier tonight. So really grab on what Farrah is talking about. And I'm going to clear up one thing because I came across in my chat before I go into this subject that I want to talk about. See, edification is everything. And I always see, and I'm going to call them the weak ones, okay, that come back and say, well, it's easy for you to go and sell this. Well, no. Listen, guys, if you're saying that, slap yourself in the face because you didn't even hear what we said, okay? You need to really pay attention to what we said because when we give you the role play, we don't say Dave and Farrah made the money. We don't say any of that. And I'm going to share this with you. Posture is everything. You either control the conversation or you are the consumer of the conversation. You're either in control or you're the employee. You're either the boss or the employee. You choose what you want to go do. But when you make that phone call, that is everything, okay? And guys, here's the thing. We've brought so many new people on right now that are coming on, that are gravitating to what we're saying. They're coming. By the way, remember Chucky just got started last week? Just got his first Emperor. He'll be on tomorrow or Tuesday night. He called over the weekend, got his first Emperor, another $500 How much do you think he worked all week to earn $500? Well, we'll let him tell you, okay? And it's not about the money. See, it's really not about the money, but again, it is if it's not working for you, okay? So posture is everything on how you set the call up. Most of you do not like how I take control of a conversation when I'm talking to somebody. Again, I always tell people, you can do it any way you want. And by the way, Farrah said something at the beginning of it. I do not like the 10-minute. I'm not the one that likes the 10-minute video. I like the vision call. It's funny because Leroy wrote me tonight. Somebody's writing to him and wants him to change the call. Well, no, we're not changing the call. Because, see, that person is probably still broke and doesn't understand what that call does, okay? Because that call is a vision call to paint the perfect Picasso of who you're in bed with, of the owner, of where his vision is, where he's looking to take you from day one. That's what the vision call is. So if you don't gravitate that, and if you don't like what I say, that's great. You can get your own system for that. But that's what the vision call does. See, the hangout is the juice to get people to come in to see, like you and me, real people, to take a look at what's going on and get to see real people. I never tell them the name of the company, the marketing plan, or any of that. Why would I? What's i2G? Oh, is that one of them binary deals? Is that one of them scams? So listen, guys, if you want to spend your time doing that, go ahead. But you want to go back to one of these trainings and think about how we set these calls up. And I'm not going to repeat all that because it's different. Here's what I'm going to focus on, because focus is what's going to get you clear. And if you can get clear, your life will forever change. See, I was in my early 30s. I was talking to a 35-year-old today. He's got $120,000 worth of debt, okay? He does speech pathology, the whole deal. I noticed I asked him all these questions because I know where I need to go with this guy. He's looking to make $5K a week, 20 grand a month by the end of a year, okay? He's going to be in my 20K club before he knows it, because here's what happens. He knows what hard work is. He's not afraid to do the work, and he's already put into application. I couldn't believe all the stuff that he was telling me of what he did. See, here's what you need to do. the first thing for you to get clear on it, and not in i2G, in your world, is in your world. What do you want? What do you want? See, when you go to Chili's and order dinner, you don't just say, I'll take anything. You don't just say, oh, I want my Redskins to win. Sorry, Jessica, they ain't gonna. You know, you see what I'm saying? You know what you want. You've got to get what you want. And how you do that is through identification. See, I want to share a story, and this story has forever changed my life. And thousands of other people. You see these plaques and different things in the back of my wall. Those are different awards that came on for taking rookies and year awards and stuff. I got stuff in my room that will just knock your socks off. And it wasn't some plaque from some company. It was about my time doing something. It was from the individuals that I've affected through the last 20-something years. See, because when I was in my early 30s, working my rear end off, broke, okay, making about $3,000 a month and raising 2 kids, okay, and I fell in love with a company, and I'm working my rear end off, and I'm a general contractor, and I fell in love with network marketing. I was lucky enough that I was smart enough to listen to somebody that got on the phone with me. And he happens to become a mentor and a personal friend now of over 20-something years, okay? But he asked me, he says, Dave, what do you want? I went, wow, what do you mean, what do I want? Man, I want to get rich. I'll never forget these words as long as I say it. And he says, well, that's great. But what does that mean to you? Boom. Man, he just punched me dead in the face. I remember looking at my wife at the time. I said, man, I just told that guy I want to get rich. He says, yeah, but I need to know what that means to you. I didn't understand this for 9 years after that. It took me 9 years. I'll never forget it when I finally got it. But here's what he did. He says, what kind of money are you making now? I told him, man, if I could make $5,000 a month, residual income passively, that would be, I'd be rich. That'd be great. And he said, okay, great. Have you ever made $5,000? I said, yeah, when I close on a house, when I finish my payroll, you know, whenever I do a big job once in a while, but nothing consistent. And in the construction business, that was a big deal. And he says, well, let me ask you something, Dave. You know how hard you work at that? So I want you to think about that while you're going to your store job, wherever it is that you're employed at or whatever you're doing. I want you to think about how hard you work for the money you get. Because it's you that gets it, okay? It's you that settles for it. And he says to me, he says, okay, he says, so let me ask you something. Are you willing to commit the kind of time that you do to make that kind of money? Are you willing to commit to make that kind of money, to make $5,000 a month? I said, dude, if you can show me a plan that will work like that, I am all in. And I jumped in both feet. It was in the middle of January. I'll never forget it. I was living in Cambridge Springs, Pennsylvania, and I drove to 15 Mile Road in Detroit, Michigan. And I commenced to do what was called a 90-day plan. Guys, I'm going to share some stuff with you. He made it, it's accountable to some terminology that you hear Farrah and myself speak over and over again. Figs and gauges. He made me start becoming accountable for everything. At the end of my first 30 days, we had earned $5,300. But remember, I needed consistency, and I needed to be residual. So we didn't get overexcited. On day 63, because it was a 30-day plan, they only paid once a month back then. And on day 63, they ran a pay run, and he called me, and he says, hey, Dave, you're at $10,356 and change. We've got to readjust your goals. And I laughed. I said, yeah, we do. And we did. And I said, okay, what do we do? And he says, this is what we do. We're going to wash, rinse, repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. Guys, I went on to that company and was #1 in that company, led me to 3 different companies and put me in retirement throughout my 30s. Unfortunately, direct sell companies, they will do certain things that come and go, like businesses. But that training had forever changed my life. I was in retirement when I met my wife today. Okay? I would come out of retirement. I was looking for something to do. I was bored. I'll never forget it. And I got involved with my first unique, sexy, hot, and zero competition company. By the way, all 3 of the other companies were not that. They were all nutritional companies. Okay? I did my first one of a unique, hot, and sexy, and zero competition back in 1996. We literally became #1 in that company because they always debate it, but it didn't matter because Farrah and I were double dipping. I met my wife on a 3-way phone call. I let it rip. We went ahead and basically I told Farrah, and she tells a story of how I called her all the time. The minute the guy introduced me to her, I hung up on him. I called her right back, and it never stopped since. 18 and a half years later, okay? But here's what happened. There's a lot of other things that happened in between there, but here's what happened. I told Farrah, I said, every time I call you, I need you to say this, this, and this, and that's it. And we're going to get off the phone. But here's the thing. Every time I call, I need you to pick up, and I need you to do this. Well, it was funny because back then we didn't have cell phones like we have today. Okay, we had beepers. And her beeper used to bounce around all over the desk. The guys used to tell me. She on his vibrate mode, and it would bounce all over the place. And then whatever she was doing, she would call me immediately or pick up the minute I called. And by her doing that, what happened was she developed a team in L.A. that was so excited because I would not leave her alone. And she had to keep saying the same things. And the more she said it, the better she got. The better she got, okay? First couple times might not have been so good, okay? But actually she was pretty good, and she's done really good. But here's the thing. By doing that, she created that team there, and I created a new team, and 45 days later, I came out to L.A., and we literally dominated that company, and that was back in 1996. That was not with near the technology that we had today, and the incomes on that would just put you into orbit on what happened, and then it let us off. And then after that, we had to go to a different business because we were accustomed to too much. Okay, we got into timeshare, and if you even knew what we made there, you'd get sick. But when we came back to this, when she talks about 1.5 years ago when we got started, you're right. Here's what happened. The government had changed a bunch of things. A lot of things had happened. We got involved with a company. It wasn't quite as unique and sexy. Well, I guess it was, but it didn't work for us. And it was because the company was unique, hot, and sexy, but here was the thing. They didn't know how to work with people. So they lost people like Farrah and myself. And we struck out on that particular company. But here's what happened. The next unique, sexy, hot company came out, and we went right straight to the top with it. We had everybody 3-1. Unfortunately, the ownership stunk. Okay? We set that one on fire, and we stayed with it to the end, and we sold it out. Okay? We stayed. We didn't sell out to the people. We stayed with them till they sold out on the deal. Okay? Here's what happened. We then took another venture, another unique, hot and sexy, zero competition type deal, and went with it. The problem was they sold us one way and did it the other way. Again, poor management. We became 2/3 the company. We were #1 in the company, and again, 2/3 of it was under us. We were again the #1 people again, doing the same skills. Not bringing no new people. Anybody that was in our group knows that we didn't bring anybody fresh from either one of these deals. I met James Breakiron that night while we were announcing us as the #1, and actually they blew it up on a big screen. I'm like, guys, you're a little late. You know, I'm saying in my own mind because I had already knew I was moving forward because these guys were all over the place, and this was not my first rodeo. Guys, i2G is only unique, hot, and sexy there is, period, the end, in the industry today. If you apply these skills that we just shared with you right now, I promise you this. I challenge everybody to do it 10 times. And here's what I tell anybody on here. You take me up on your offer. Put me on the phone with 10 people. If you're afraid to call them and everybody that you're so ashamed of yourself that you tell me you have nobody to talk to and you have zero confidence, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go find me the 10 people that just took your money in the last 10 deals that you've done. Okay? All the deals that you've gone and signed up with, and I want you to put them on the phone with me. You can even let them think that they're going to recruit me into their deal. And here's what I promise you. I'll bet you $100, Ben Franklin, that I will not get 10 zeros. And if I do, I will pay you. So that's what? How many? 10 phone calls, better than $10 an hour for your time to take on my challenge. But if I get them, watch what happens. I make a believer out of you. See, that's all we want from you, is to become believers in you. I focus on a couple things. Teaching people the basics. Make $100. Okay, $100. $500. $1,000. Go tell Katrina Dugar it doesn't work. Go tell her that. Watch her. She's a whole different animal right now. Last Saturday night. Fired up. But tell Chucky this, the new guy on a panel, just got started last week. Guys, we got guys in the deal. They ain't talked to nobody, and we're just astonished, and you're doing 4 other deals, and that's okay. But why are you even playing around here? I mean, my gosh. I mean, just put us on the phone with the the people that recruited you in the other 4 deals. Let me recruit them anyway and bring them in, okay? I mean, come on. Get real. So here's the deal. If you're not happy with your results, blame you. Because most of you on this phone or on this in this hangout right here are way more educated than Dave Manning. Okay? Way more talented than me. But, I'm not going to say that with Fair. Fair's pretty clever. I'm a pretty lucky guy. All right? So I know better than to go that route. But here's the deal. Here's the deal, guys. You really need to get with you. Because if you don't get with you, I promise you this, 2014 is going to go by, 2015 is going to come, and not much change, okay? Just so you know, and again, I shared our visions, okay? Our goals was to make $1 million last year. I had it in a public place, and that's what we were going to do. Alone, not that money's anything, but again, we've far succeeded that, okay? Just in i2G alone, okay? Take a look at what we've done in 5 months, okay? I'm not going to share them numbers to brag with you. Here's the deal. There was a reason. We had a plan. We knew what we were going to go do, and we're relentless at doing what we do. We only focus on one pony. We only focus to get clear, because I don't like any dog doo-doo on my shades, okay? When I got my shades on, I like them to be clean. I like to see what's going on, okay? And I like to run on a road like that. Now, I want you to think about that, because when I lay out a plan that I tell you that we're going to take 1,000 people over the 10K mark, I'm deadly serious about that. That's not hype. That's not hype. This is a serious deal. We only need, I believe it's less than 900 right now. I think we're in the 800, 870. I'll have the run on it pretty quick, and I'll be able to fill you in. And I'll keep you posted throughout the year. Now, here we are going into the 12th day of the year. How's it going for you? How's it going for you? How's your business going? How many exposures did you talk to today? How many did you get going today? It was funny, because I'm walking the dogs and I'm pitching this guy, and he says to me, he says, is it okay to talk? Because I teach people to make sure the most important thing is to ask somebody, what are you doing? And you know why I know that's important? Because you see this? I live with this on, okay? And people that call me know that if they don't ask me, they're probably going to get TMI when I tell them what I'm really doing. Because, you know, as a matter of fact, the 35-year-old I was working with today, I was actually picking up my dog doo-doo while I was talking with him. But my pitch is so refined because I've said it so much, it didn't matter. I can do it regardless. You'll be able to do it that way also through repetition. Repetition is the mother of skill, okay? And if you don't do it, shame on you. You're going to get your own results no matter what you go do. It isn't Facebook that's going to get you there. It ain't auto posting that's going to get you. Those are all great tools. You know, that people talking about the capture page and all that. It's stuff to me, guys, here's the thing. We went to $500,000 without any of that stuff. We're pasting a stupid YouTube link of when we were learning these Hangouts, which are a lot smoother today than some of our very first ones. If you don't believe me, go back through to find some of the first ones. I'm sure you'll get some chuckles, and I'm sure we'll end up with a blooper tape before we're done of all the ones where we've lost people and who knows all the different stuff that we went and did. But here's the thing. That's what people can relate with. That's what they can get into. But you've got to get into you. Because if you don't, guess what? Ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen for you. There's no pixie dust here. There's no angel pixie dust that's going to sprinkle down. It's going to come on you. Okay? All you've got to do is lug the traffic to us and let us help you. Okay? Because eventually we keep getting swamped. But here's the thing. I'm never going to forget where I came from. Ferry's not going to forget. We're going to always be helping people regardless because we don't take anything for granted. The only thing I take for granted is helping you get the success that you want. Okay? When I have that happen, I have friends, I have relationships that will never leave me ever, and I forever have marked their soul. That's strong. Okay? That is strong when you can affect people like that. So, guys, I hope this helps. I know you've been on here a while. To me, it's not too long because here's the deal. Your life is too short. I just read my brother. He just sent me a thing. So his wife, some guy's wife just blew his wife apart, you know, last night. You don't know when it's over. You know, I was on my bicycle the other day, and the guy goes, "Hey, Dave, well, you're on your bike. I'll get back to you." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is a good time to talk to me. What if the cigarette truck runs me over while I'm riding my bicycle?" And we never get to talk. And I've been hit twice, so it could happen. You know what I mean? Ferris says I'm erratic on my bicycle. But here's the thing, and on my motorcycle, just even forget that. But then, because I am on the beast, I am a machine. That baby loves to cruise. But anyway, having fun, but getting back to you, work on you. Work on you, and you'll get what you want, okay? Work on how you present you and what you're talking about, and your whole life will change. It's all in the presentation, guys. It's all in the presentation on what you present to individuals to go get it. When we tell you that, it's not because it's magic. It's because you're opening yourself up to a can of worms that you probably can't go solve. And why go there when you have the perfect tools to do it already? That's what we're trying to teach you to go do. And that's not any magical internet groups. That's not no posting. That's no nothing. Okay? That's basically share a hangout. Okay? And understand what the vision call's about, because we will never change that vision call ever, ever, from anything that I have out with it, because it is exactly what it is. The vision call of the owner, the CEO, and the vice president sharing with you their vision from day one. Here we are, $15.5 million later, 5 months from then. Okay? 5 months. You know what DSA is going to write about on this? And you're going to sit there and miss it? You're going to miss it? Guys, this is like sitting in Apple, Microsoft, all the other big companies that have come. And that, and I used to say, people would say it, and I go, yeah, right, but it's not really can't be. Well, this one can be. This one can be. You really need to grab onto what we're going with here and what we're doing, because this has all the mechanics of being that big, and it will be. And if you listen to that call, you will understand that that has been the vision of this young man's deal, why he's done i2G, and why it's going to become what it's going to become. So, guys, you need to really, really grasp that call, understand what it is, the Picasso of it, and then get your head around it versus you trying to explain it. Because between Farrah and that hangout and that vision call, they should be calling you back and saying, all right, I know where I want to get started, and let's go. And how do I know? That's what they do with Farrah and myself all day long. All day long, over and over and over and over. So with that, guys, I'll leave it back to you. Next weekend's football is going to be totally kicked butt, totally revved up. I'm excited. Farrah did an absolutely smashed up job. James, as always, and James, I'm so proud of you, brother. All the growing you've done, it's been unbelievable, man. It's a great pleasure to even know you, man. It's awesome. Back to you, Farrah.
All right, thank you, guys, and thank you very much for those of you that have stuck around. I know we've been on here for a long time. We wanted to try to cover a few things that we haven't covered in our previous trainings, but if you have not seen the previous trainings, please go to the i2G Pros, to the Files section, and we cover a lot of other basics. I think that what Dave finished up with was really, really important in terms of creating your why. He hit on the FIGS engages, which is keeping yourself accountable, writing down on a daily basis what you do, how many exposures, how many people you've talked to, how many people you've got the hangout to, how many groups you've posted to. Write it all down every day. When you write things down, it keeps you accountable. And use us for three-way validation. So I think we covered a whole lot. I appreciate you guys. Promote the Facebook events, the Google Hangouts, Tuesday and Thursday night. In one of the previous Hangouts, we talked about how to create Facebook events, how to promote those. Our new a gentleman, Beverly Drury, 40-year network marketing veteran, couldn't be on here tonight. He actually had me create a Facebook event for him. First time ever. He actually got 28 people signed up for his event. He said his phone ringing off the hook. Got an emperor, got some novices, got some high rollers, but it works. So anyway, we'll see you on Tuesday night, the next Hangout. Thank you again for attending, and we'll see you on the next Hangout. Have a good night. Thank you so much.